Good afternoon. This is Greg, and I'm going to show you a tool today that I recently learned, and it's pretty cool. So, first, just to set you up a little bit, I'm an application developer, and I've been developing various forms of applications since 2000, back when Y2K was a thing. And I've gone through a number of different technologies, and I always think, yes, this last new greatest technology is here to save us. I will need to learn nothing more after this. This is it. And then a year goes by and that goes into the toilet too to be replaced by something else that's even newer and better. And the latest in my journey is using Vue as a single page application framework. Earlier, I was using Aurelia. That was a really awesome tool. Still have live apps used by thousands of people using Aurelia as a front end, but it was done in Aurelia 1. Aurelia 2 is still around, but it never really took off. You've probably never heard of it, and it's okay. Um, Moving right along, Vue came along, and it Vue does a lot of the things that Aurelia did that I really liked, and in particular, that's called two-way data binding. For me, when the two-way data binding came along, it kind of like changed everything. And although the framework that I have done two-way data binding in has changed, i.e., Silverlight, Aurelia, Blazor, Vue, they all support that. And in fact, React, which I'm no React developer, I've only done some brief comparisons between Vue and React. And as far as I can tell, Vue supports two-way data binding, whereas React does not. Now, I'm sure somebody out there will say, oh, no, yes, you can do two-way data binding in React, but that's not what I've read so far. And the overall syntax, I like a Vue better just because it fits my developmental style. So I'm going to do my next project in Vue. I'm sure I could do it just as well in React, but it's just my personal preference. Now, moving right along, the person who made or who created Vue, Kevin Yu, I believe his name is. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. He also made Vite, and that's a little demo I'm going to do today because Vite is kind of like a starting point for a Vue app. So, briefly, of course, if you have any app, it needs to run. And Vite is a developmental or a developmental time tool, meaning you use it during development. It's not used in production, it's just used in development to make your life easier as a developer, right? So the primary problem that you, Kevin, was trying to solve is that of okay, when you go in and you make some code updates, what do you have to do to then see those updates made in the browser, right? So you don't want to sit there for a minute while your application rebuilds and it creates your single page, app file that gets downloaded to the blind and update. We want immediate updates, right? And there's a lot of workarounds and ways to get hot module reloading, I think it's called HMR. Anyways, you want to see your updates right away. Well, Kevin took a new, fresh look at this and created a server that does exactly that. And so we're just gonna spin up a little demo of this, and I'm starting here with just a completely empty folder. As you can see, it's called Vite. Oh, I should say vite. It's a French word, French pronunciation that means quick, or fast. And as you will see, it is very fast. All right, so let's get started here. So I'm going to hold down. I'm going to start by opening up a command prompt. I'm holding down the shift key, I'm right clicking, I'm saying open PowerShell window here. So that's just how I like to do it. There's lots of ways to do such things. All right, and so now um, I am going to get started. All right, so just to make a correction myself, it's Evan you, not Kevin you. All right, my apologies. All right, so let's get started here. So we're going to use the Node Package Manager (npm), and of course, I'm assuming you have npm and Node installed. That's a given here. So npm create Vite at latest, right? And then it's going to ask me a couple of questions. Project name, or let's call it Hello Vite. And package name, that works for me. Now you can select which framework you want to use. We're just going to go with the plain vanilla. And since TypeScript is so cool, we'll take that. So, and notice it's now said exactly what we need to do here. We're going to cd hello Vite, and then npm install, and that's going to install the dependencies. We'll let that run for a moment. And then we're going to run npm run dev. And so what that's going to do is start up the Vite server. So Vite is a server. Obviously, it's a lightweight server, and its whole goal is to serve up the bits as fast as possible. And when there's a change in your files, to propagate that change to the browser. So let's carry on here. npm run dev, and it spins it up and it says, all right, so we've spun this up and it picked 5173, and I'm holding down control and I'm clicking that, and now we have our app up and running. Vite plus TypeScript count is 0. Do. Yep, it's working. Click on the Vite and TypeScript logos to learn more. All right, so now let's go to the next step, and we're going to leave this running here, but we want to go in here, and we're going to open up this here and go to our source, and here's our counter, and we're going to say open with we want to open with Visual Studio Code. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do Visual Studio Code here. All right, so as we can see, I got a couple other older projects open there. Don't need any of those. We're just taking a look at this counter here. So we see we have our code there. And then what I really want to open up is this one. Here we go. So now we can see what we got here. So where is our Vite plus TypeScript? All right, so here we are. And so now I'm going to dock this on the left, and I'm going to dock this on the right. Nope, that's all we want. All right, so we can see how fast these updates are made. So here we are, um, plus Greg, right? So notice I haven't saved yet, no updates over here. I hit save, and instantly that's pushed over here. So it's extremely fast. So any updates that you make, update immediately over there. And now notice, we're just going to update it one more time. Notice it says count to 7, and we're going to save. And notice that there's actually a page refresh happening there, which we kind of lose. But if we just updated the CSS alone over here in styles, that would not be the case. So come over here. So right now, that's a that's a known limitation of Vite, in that if it has to recompile a TypeScript file, um, it has to do a refresh. So notice also it is TypeScript here that we're using. We're not using JavaScript. So there, since it's TypeScript, obviously it has to go through a compile layer, down to JavaScript. But it does that as part of the whole process. It's totally invisible to us. We can almost think of this TypeScript as a JavaScript file as far as like, okay, serving it up to the browser. All right, so now let's do an F12 over here, and we can expand this out a little bit. And we have our sources. If we wanted to come down here and look at our TypeScript, and as you can see, it has our TypeScript right here, and our counter, and this one is our main. Not quite sure why there's this second one, but in any case, the source control. All right, but in any case, what I really wanted to do was come back over here to our CSS file. All right, and again, I'm going to park it over here on the left. Put about this one on the right because we still want to see it. Okay, that's good. Expand it out a little bit. All right, so now we're going to change something over here in our styles just so we can see that our count is 6 stays, right? So in other words, we're maintaining state here, but all we're doing, like say, for example, our font size, we're going to decrease our font size here by 1. Okay, now I'm hitting Control S to save, and instantly it changed over here. And notice that our state did not change. So any CSS changes are instantly reflected over here in the browser, but TypeScript changes do require a page refresh. And really, that's the length and breadth of Vite, at least as far as getting started and using it as a developer. You just want to be able to get it up and running, and then you can use that in your framework. So, like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.